Thanks for watching Numbskull News, and today I'm talking about the new Big 12 TV deal. Now, first of all, I have to admit, I had my Big 12 Homer glasses on. I thought the Big 12 was going to get more money right now. Now, they are going to make more, just not as much as I thought. I thought maybe 10 million more than they actually got a year per team, which means, you know, the one or two Pac-12 people that watch this channel once in a while and give me shit, you're more than welcome to give me shit. That's fine. That's what the comment section's for. I'm not going to dodge anything. Go ahead and give me all the crap. That's fine. And if the ACC people, and by the way, y'all are quite a bit less rude. Y'all are perfectly fine to put the I told you so's and all that kind of stuff. Perfectly fine. I deserve it. All right. That's the big negative of this news, and it just deals with me. Doesn't deal with the Big 12. One thing like I said, with them Big 12 glasses I could not see was the Big 12 really hasn't proven anything yet. Over the last couple of seasons, we've had parity. We've had exciting football. We've had a lot of good teams, a lot of depth. That's got to be able to sustain for a while. So once Texas and OU do leave in 2025 and the four new schools come in, you still have to be an exciting conference with depth, with parity. Because yes, parity is part of what got you the deal. The parity is what made Fox want to be involved still with the Big 12 and not so much with the Pac-12. So yes, I got to eat a little bit of crow. That's fine. I'm willing to do it. However, I would ask the Pac-12 folks, especially the ones that like to be assholes in my comment section, where's your deal? It ain't on the table yet, is it, fellas? It's not. And let's just say for shits and giggles, all right, the Big 10 doesn't come after any more teams for a while. Let's just say the Big 12 doesn't come after any of your teams for a while. And y'all happen to band together. Those 10 special teams happen to band together for a while. Do you think you're going to get as much money as the Big 12 just got? I'm just asking because the Big 12 did just get more money without Texas and OU. So is the Pac-12 going to be able to get more money than their last deal without USC? Don't know. All right, because from what I have seen, the Pac-12 has not been very exciting. There hasn't really been any kind of parity in that league. In the Big 12, there's not 4 or 5 bad schools. There's not 4 or 5 bad teams. Any given season, maybe, 1 or 2? Now, we've had our down years. There's no shit about that. But it's not every year that it's bad. As a matter of fact, we've had a couple of years that's been a really nice run. And very exciting. It's one of the reasons Fox is on board. The thing is, Brett Yormark, his job ain't over. He's got to be able to sustain that. And these schools, the ADs and all that, and these head coaches, they got to be able to sustain that. And Brett Yormark is really huge on the marketing. We got to be able to market that. And he's done a nice job so far. I'm not saying he hasn't, but we're still, an inch into his career as the commissioner. So, we're going to see his worth over the next several years up until 2031, until the next deal comes around. And by the way, that's not a negative thing. That's a good thing. All right, we're starting off great. And we just got to be able to maintain that and, if possible, get better overall as a conference. But these fans are jacked up. I'm telling you right now, Big 12 fans are excited about this conference. We're excited about the 4 new schools coming in. Those fan bases are just on fire to be in the Big 12. The ratings have been really good, and you got to be able to maintain that, and if possible, get better. The Big 12 just got a nice raise, and with what everybody in the media has been saying, with the new college football expansion and all that crap, we're looking at around 50 to 60 million per school. Now, does that catch up to the Big 10 and the SEC? No. Will it ever? No. Will the Big 12 ever catch those two conferences in money? No. But then again, I've never said that. I don't know anyone who's ever said that. I think that's ridiculous. But what you could do eventually is close the gap a little. All right, right now, there's a massive gap. It's about half of what they're going to end up having. So down the road, hopefully you can close that up to maybe, 40%, instead of 50%, just close it a little. Either way, it's still more than enough money to be competitive and to put really good teams together through NIL and through the transfer portal. So these teams in the Big 12 have a bright future. The 4 schools coming in are going to really help. But one thing I did have right, there is room in this contract to add teams. We'll have to find out if it's, can you add, San Diego State, or is it not going to cover a group of 5 school, or is it only going to be if it's another Power 5 school, like the 4 corner schools? But let's talk about that for a minute. Let's talk about these 4 corner schools, because eventually the Pac-12 will have a decision to make. All right, I do believe whether it's a combination of Amazon and Apple TV, or just one, or just Amazon, or just Apple TV, and a little bit of ESPN, because the Big 12 now is going to be taking up a lot of their airtime, but they still want those late windows, right? So that's worth something. So a combination of ESPN and Apple, ESPN and Amazon, whatever that deal looks like for a Pac-12, if they don't get rated by the Big 12 and Big 10, those 4 corner schools will have a decision at that point. Because let's say it's around the same kind of money. They may say, well, if it's the same money, let's just stay here, right? But it's not the same exposure. Sure, late night window on ESPN, but that's the late night window on ESPN. I know it has value. But it's not, you're not talking about a 11 a.m. kickoff. You're not talking about a 2 or 3 o'clock kickoff. You're not talking about a primetime game. Those are the juiciest times to have. I mean, everyone seems to forget about that when we're talking about the Pac-12. But the late night window, I'm sorry, it has value, but nothing like those other windows do. It doesn't draw the ratings that those other windows do. You don't think a 7 or 8 o'clock kick is way more valuable than 11 p.m. kick? I mean, come on. But as I said, those 4 corners are going to have to make a decision because, like I said, the level of exposure is not going to be the same. Amazon, all right, they got the Thursday night game with the NFL, and it's getting half the ratings it used to. Half. And before, everyone made fun of the Thursday night game like it didn't get shit for ratings. It's getting half of the shit that it used to get. So, if the Pac-12, throws a ton of their Tier 1 and Tier 2 stuff on Amazon, who's going to watch it? Some Pac-12 people will watch it, but let's also remember that that's probably the most fickle fan base of all of them. There's a few loud assholes, sure, but for the most part, there's not a ton of people in the stands. They don't get the kind of ratings that the Big 12 or the ACC or the SEC or the Big 10 get. They just don't. That's not a very engaged fan base. Like I said, aside from the few assholes they got, there's some good ones too. I'm giving the assholes too much credit here. There's plenty of good Pac-12 fans that are cool and they're fine. There's a few assholes out there. You know who you are. Hey, I'm an asshole and I know it. So own up to your crap. So even if the money's the same, I mean, do you want to play in some prime time slots on ESPN and Fox, or do you want to go to right now what is a barren wasteland of Amazon, and even more barren if it's Apple TV? That's the decision you're going to have to make. Because yes, the future is streaming, but it's not necessarily all going to be Amazon or all going to be Apple TV. The future of streaming can very well be ESPN Plus. Or if Fox ever gets their head out of their ass and comes up with a streaming service. Right now, as far as streaming college football, ESPN Plus and Peacock, I mean, they're the 2 biggest ones right now. I mean, Is Amazon going to threaten them with some Pac-12? No. No, no. They're not going to threaten Big Ten. They're not going to threaten the SEC or or even some a sprinkling of Big 12. They're not going to threaten any of that. But still, I don't know how the money would be the same, because good luck getting a grant of rights that involve Oregon, Washington, and Stanford. I mean, those three programs don't want to be there anymore. They want to be in the Big Ten. All right, they haven't gotten the proverbial knock on the door yet, but I have a feeling that knock may come sooner than later. And we damn sure know the Big 12 are going to come calling for those four corner schools, or whatever schools ESPN may prefer. They may not want some of those four corner schools. They may, hey, Washington State, they're still in Seattle. They give us that time slot. That's still on the table. We don't know what's going to happen with that, but I would not be shocked that sometime in the off season or before, we start hearing that some of these big Pac-12 schools are like, you know what? We would like to be in the Big 12. We got a secure deal, grant of rights till 2031. We're going to making good money, and you can't beat the exposure. Let's not forget, Amazon has nothing on ESPN or Fox when it comes to college football. Those two are the kings of college football. And Amazon has shit tons of work to catch up to them. It's going to be a while. Now, Apple TV? No. No, I haven't even thought about that place yet. But, Amazon, yeah, sure. But, is it Netflix? No. Is it Hulu? No. Is it, Disney Plus? No. It's not on that level yet. And it sure as hell isn't when it comes to sports. So really what this new TV deal is, it's a reality check for me on how things are going to work. It's not going to go as fast as I thought it could possibly go. But, that's part of the shit that I threw on the wall, and it slid right on off. And that's fine. I enjoy throwing this shit on the wall. I'm like, it's fun. I don't care. It's fun to speculate. It's fun to, say, hey, this could happen. Theoretically, it could. And sure, maybe down the road I'll be right. Maybe. But, we'll see when we get there. But, I'm going to speculate all the way to 2031 and all the way to 2036 when the ACC deal's up. I'm going to keep speculating until I'm dead. I want to keep throwing that shit on the wall because it's fun to do. Even though Brett Yormark does have work to do, still got to applaud him for what he got done. I mean, think about it. A lot of Pac-12 people said, oh, he's full of shit. He's just talking out of his ass. He's writing checks his ass can't cash. Well, it turns out he didn't write the check. ESPN and Fox wrote it. So there's that. So the deal pays us more. So the current deal's up in 2025, plus this is like a 6-year extension. It's not bad. Not bad at all. 6 years. You just didn't want that, forever ACC deal. That's, whatever it was, 15, 20 years or something stupid. You didn't want that. You wanted to be able to come back and get another bite of the apple instead of having to wait until, 3 presidents down the road or whatever the hell. Well, that's all I got on that crap. I'll be back with some other crap later. Bye.